Hi guys, welcome. Now you know that I don't usually do this, but like the video if you've learned something, and subscribe to the channel if I teach you. If I don't teach you, you don't have to subscribe, but if I do teach you, subscribe to the channel, because obviously I will be making videos from time to time for you. Alright, so let's get into the lesson. For this lesson, we are looking at solving quadratic equations using the formula. So I have 3 equations on the screen. I might get to do 1 or 2 of them. So the first thing is that we need to know what the formula is to use it, right? So let me just pause and write the formula on the screen. So the formula is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. It is best to have a calculator. So get your paper, get your pencil, get your calculators. Alright, so as you would have done with factorizing quadratic expressions, you would have identified a, b, and c. If you look in the formula, you will realize that you see a, b, and c. So that means it is still necessary, still relevant for you to identify a, b, and c. So let us make note. In the first question, so a is the coefficient of the squared term. Normally we say the x squared term, but the equation, the variable in it, or the variables in it, are b. So it's the b squared term, the coefficient of the b squared term, and the coefficient of b in the case of this question. So a is going to be 2, b is 8, and the c, we didn't write it in the form. The question is not in the form. So the form is to bring over, transpose the 4, which would give us 2b squared plus 8b plus 7 minus 4, which would be 3, right? Equals 0. So that would be the equation in the standard form, the form that is required. So that means c is actually 3. The next thing that we're going to do after we've identified a, b, and c is to substitute in the formula, meaning you put the actual values of a, b, and c in the formula, right? So let us do that. And notice the formula says x equal. In this case, because we're solving for b, we could write b equal, but I'm going to just put x so that there is no confusion. X equals negative 8. The formula says negative b. b is 8, so we're going to have negative 8 plus or minus the square root of b squared, and b is 8, so 8 squared minus 4ac. 4ac means 4 multiplied by a multiplied by c, and in mathematics, of course, we can use brackets to represent multiplication. So we're going to have 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is 3, all divided by 2 times a, which is 2 times 2, which is 4. And then we begin to break. If you have a nice calculator, then you can get this done in 2 steps. If you don't, then you might need to do it part by part, right? So negative 8 cannot be simplified any further, so we're going to have negative 8 plus or minus, follow me, you'll soon understand this sign. Negative 8 plus or minus the square, so 8 squared, that's 64, minus 4 3s 12, 2s 24, so that's 24. How did we get 24? 4 multiplied by 2, 8 multiplied by 3, 24, and 2 times 2, 4, and then we subtract and we would get 64 minus 20. So that's gonna be root 40 over 4. At this point now, after you find the square root, we're going to separate the plus and the minus sign. The square root of 40 is 6.3 to 1 decimal place. So we're going to have x equal negative 8 plus 6.3 divided by 4. Observe that I only said plus. Or x equal negative 8 minus 6.3. And observe that I have now said minus. So at this point we split the plus or minus sign. Alright, so at this point we need to put this in our calculator. So negative 8 plus 6.3 all divided by 4. So if you have the nice calculator that gives you the computer display, then you can put it in as the fraction that it is. If you have the other calculator, then I recommend 1. You put in bracket negative 8 plus 6.3, close the bracket, divide by 4, or you put negative 8 plus 6.3, press the equal sign, then divide by 4 to get the correct answer. In this case, the correct answer is negative 0.425. And see that it's only 3 decimal places, just write the whole thing. Then now, in our calculators, we are going to put negative 8 minus 6.3 divided by 4. And that is x equal negative 3.575. Again, because the answer, final answer is 3 decimal places, you can just go ahead and write that, unless you are instructed to round to 1 decimal place or 2 decimal place or so on. Alright, so that is one example. Alright, so the next example is this one. 2m squared minus 7m minus 13 equals negative 10. So you want to put it in the general form by getting everything on the left hand side. So that means we need to transpose the negative 10 to the left hand side. So we're going to have 2m squared minus 7m minus 13 plus 10 equals 0. So of course it's plus 10 because we move a negative 10 from one side of the equal sign to the other side. So we do the opposite operation. So negative becomes positive. Then of course we need to simplify that. 2m squared minus 7m, negative 13 plus 10 is negative 3. Then we identify a, which is 2, b, which is negative 7, and c, which is negative 3. The next thing that you want to do is to write your formula. So x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. After we have written our formula, and this is a formula that CSEC actually gives you on the paper, so you just need to know be familiar with the formula and know how to use it and when to use it, right? So we've written our formula, we've written down what a, b, and c is. So the next step is to substitute the values in the formula. So x is equal to negative b, so that's negative, and b is negative 7, so we can put that in bracket, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so that's negative 7 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is negative 3, all divided by 2a, which is 2 times 2. So when I simplify, double negative become positive, so that's 7 plus or minus the square root of 49. And remember, we're multiplying right here, so that's negative 4 times 2, negative 8 times negative 3. That is positive 24, all divided by 4. Simplify further. 7 plus, what is the square root? What is 49 plus 24? So that is 73 divided by 4, or x equal 7 minus root 73. Sometimes I choose to find the root first before I separate the sign, but you don't have to. In this case, I've chosen not to. So in your calculator, you can put 7 plus root 73. Press equal, then press divide by 4. And that is 3.9 rounded to, that's our answer, rounded to 1 decimal place. Or x equal, in your calculator, put 7 minus root 73, press the equal sign, divide by 4, and I got negative 0.39, and that's the answer rounded to 2 decimal places. So notice the steps are a little shorter because we eliminate some of the steps, right? So it's all about how comfortable you are. So this is our answer, x equal 3.9 and x equal negative 0.39. I hope you learned. If you had a little mix up with any part of the video, then replay. And if you think there's an error, let me know. If you did learn something, you can leave a comment and like the video and share it with your classmates and tell them go learn something. Alright, bye.